The big brand sale is now on at OK Furniture. Spend 2,999 or more and stand a chance to win one of 20 shopping sprees worth 1 million rands. View our latest catalog and shop these amazing deals by the 6th of April 2025 while stock lasts. T's and C's apply. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. It is Kaizer Chiefs 1, TS Galaxy 1 in the Betway Premiership. Yeah, it's that time of the season where you see people giving false plastic motivation performances, and then next week they go back to their level. Last week we were complimenting Golden Arrows for looking brilliant tactically against Chiefs. Today they played to a 0-0 draw against Cheaper. TS Galaxy, I've been watching them recently. Today they look like lions against Chiefs, especially in the second half. But if you give them a team of their own size and stature, it becomes a game that's not watchable. I was watching last night Richards Bay and Amazon, and I'm wondering why am I sitting there watching these teams until a goalkeeper made a mistake and then a tap in from Tariq Felice. This is what happens, really. So I'm giving you this context to say even the players that we will mention that were lions with TS Galaxy, they will meet their level next week where they disappear. They disappear completely and you will never see them again this season. So whatever we say about who did well for TS Galaxy, you may or may not see them very long in terms of great performances, which they put up once or three times a season against Pirates, against Chiefs, against Sundowns. That's the reality of the Betway Premiership, in that most of the teams are parasiting from the legacy of Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. If they were left alone besides these three teams, this league could only have maybe a sponsor that gives them 10,000 and the prize money would be 1,750. That's what they're valued at in terms of the performances that they dish out every single week. They're not even worth the money that they're being paid. They're leeching off the existence of Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. Tso Vilakazi, your thoughts on the game, sir?
Hi, thank you.
Not to pay the more.
Yes, Mr. Sometimes we gonna last where city coaches they play a part. They tell the team is not doing well. Gonna allow one, but I mean, this is the second half. You guys are leading. So we in a leader payana grounding. You can't even take a decision as players to say, guys, you know what? Let's hold on. Let's try and keep the ball and play transition. We've got quick players. Solomon's, we're gonna use you more on the right, and then the rest, let's stay in our positions. We get it. We play it there. Lilepo, stay there. Modi, stay there. The rest, let's come in. Sereno, just come there, in the center circle, so that if we can go wide, at least we know we are here. Then we're gonna turn and play.
Not to pay it no more, Mr. So-and-so.
Yeah, no. Sometimes we cannot blame coaches. Sometimes because players are playing there. Sometimes players they need to take decisions, but it goes back to what I always say: when you don't have experienced players, this is what's going to happen. Because senior players that have got experience, they know that as a team, we are in a difficult position now. We are in a difficult zone now. So if it happens that we scored first, we're leading, let's try and protect that goal. Let's try and frustrate the opponents in order to get opportunities. And first half, they did very well. And I thought they'll wrap it up second half, get a second goal, and then that's it. But it turned around that it was a game of two halves because,
if you can't blame coaches, I'm not saying let's blame the coach. I'm doing my job to ask you the question.
Yeah.
And I'm applying my brain to what you're saying.
Yes.
If you can't blame coaches, if Nasruddin Nabi is leading Golden Arrows, or was it 1-1 or 1-0 in the first half?
Yeah.
And then Golden Arrows comes back. It was 1-1 in the first half, but the Chiefs were pushing in the later end of that first half.
Yeah.
And Golden Arrows makes changes, Coach Mangoba. That's what we're saying, because that's what happened last week.
Yes.
And they make changes to affect the game.
Yeah.
Not just changes. Like you could see tactically things have changed.
Yeah.
Chiefs are not going into the final third anymore as much as they were doing.
Yes.
And then this game tonight, in the second half, the freedom of movement in that final third changes, where TS Galaxy switches that.
Yeah.
Is that not a problem of coaching? Can a coach not anticipate the opposition is not going to give us a free reign. And when that happens, this is what we are going to do. This is how we're going to break them down. If they close, if, for example, you're getting chances through Solomon on the right, if they close that, let's go to Lilepo or something else. I'm not saying that they must do that. I'm just saying part of your planning could you not anticipate that happening, because it's 2 consecutive matches where the other coaches adapted and they took points away from Chiefs, matches that Chiefs should have won based on the first half performance.
Mr. Gil, the one thing I love about this game, and I will always be a part of this game, is that this game, it gives you questions, and then also again it gives you answers. And it's up to you as a coach when you are watching the game to say, can you see those questions? And then can you come back with answers? Because now when they make changes, they've closed down that space Sereno Begastol. Okay. What do you see when Nabi? 2, I'm saying when you've got experienced players, they also need to play a part in the team. They are not just there as experienced players just to play and only listen to the coach. They're in the game. They've got experience. They've been in the game. They know these players. And now they can see that, okay, now they're closing down this position. So that means now we're no more going to get Userinola. Then let's try and find another solution. Or that side, Solomons can go up. Okay, Solomons, Lilepo. When Solomons goes up and then go inside the box, then we know that we're going to have 2 players now inside the box. That will be Duba and Ulilep. And then on the far, we're going to wait for you when I'm moving up. Sereno, just come here, maybe at the edge of the box.
So what you're explaining leads to coach's responsibility.
Yes, because it's a coach and also players that have got experience. That's why I cry a lot about having experienced players in the game, because sometimes coaches, they don't see what is happening sometimes in the field of play. But when you've got experience, you've been in the game, now you can see that, oh, okay, now we can't go direct now. So that means, okay, let's confuse them. Because they know that we've got Sereno, that we've been playing him here. So now, let's go the other side. Let's try and balance there so that when they had to cross it high, they don't cross it high. Then they bring it back for who? For Sereno outside the box. You experience, that's why Mr. Nkeu, there's no way you're going to go to the shop and buy experience. The experience, you must earn it. But now, when you look at Chiefs, who's got experience in that team? Who can call the players to say, okay, now we will some attender and call everyone and say, guys, look, this is what is happening now in the team. Now we're not moving to the right direction. Can you change the direction? Can you play this one? And when we play you, we expect 1 and 2 and 3 to do this so that we can get something out of that. But yeah, Chiefs, and again, I remember Coach Palasho saying, he used to tell defenders to say, cut your hair. I don't want excuses. I need everyone to cut his hair, because I don't want when you have to defend there, and then your hair will disturb you in terms of heading, and then you get on.
Yeah, because what happened with Dove, it was interesting because he didn't head the ball the other way.
Yeah, no.
He didn't do it this way.
No, yes.
He didn't make any mistake. He was going the other way.
Yeah.
But somehow with his hair, it went this way.
Yes. Yes.
That's an interesting observation.
Yeah, it's yeah, but
you can't have slay queens for defenders.
Look,
defenders must be ugly.
Bopage straight, I pick so that because more header, you're supposed to head with the forehead. So if you ball a zanga like forehead and then it has to get your hair, then something it's wrong somewhere. So that means his timing was wrong. That's why that ball went almost an old goal. Ulonduzano Vuma, Shem tried to save, and unfortunately, second ball was there also to cover. But
there's something I'm going to ask you about the TS Galaxy technical bench. I noticed that they are extremely passionate when they play these big teams, and this is starting to get annoying because you want to watch them next week.
Yeah.
Because watch these games.
Yes.
And you want the continuity.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about that. But I want to show you something interesting about our league. And I said this at some point when this title race was starting to emerge between Pirates and Sundowns.
Yeah.
So Sundowns are on 58 points.
Yeah.
Pirates are on 46. And I said that these teams, they will be so far ahead of everyone that when you look at the rest at the end of the season, it will look like a competitive league.
Yeah.
At number 3, TS Galaxy, 36 points. At number 4, Stellenbosch, 35 points. 5, Sikukune, 34 points. 6, Polokwane City, 34 points. 7, Amazulu, 33 points. 8, Chiefs, 30 points. 9, Chipa, 29 points. 10, Golden Arrows, 28 points. 11, Magesi, 26 points. Marumo Gallants, 12, 26 points. Richards Bay, 13, 24 points. Cape Town City at 14, 24 points. Supersport United, 15, 23 points. So starting from number 3, and it serves this point that I make that they play against each other, they play nonsense, usually it's draws.
Yeah.
It's unwatchable.
Yeah.
No one would sponsor it, actually, if without Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. Chiefs only for the legacy of Chiefs, not for performance. It's 36 from number 3, 36, 35, 34, 33, 33, 32, 30, 29, 28. Like it's like a Tunisian Moroccan league. These teams where they play anti-football and then they draw most of the time. Can you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no,
why is it that the TS Galaxy bench? Because I watched them in other matches.
Yeah.
I think they were playing Richards Bay or something. They were playing a team where it was 0-0 or they struggled to score. Abom Velasa getting one-on-ones the last time I saw them. They're not passionate. They don't fight. They don't get yellow cards. But give them Sundowns. Give them Chiefs. Bakaba Makwe. Like they're fuming from their mouths. The passion that they have against Chiefs. Against Sundowns, they're even creating a smaller Nyana derby against Sundowns. Like it's like they would take out guns from their waist. The way they are so passionate. There's even fans. They don't have fans usually.
Yeah.
But against Sundowns, there's even fans in Bombela. What's happening? You guys built this house. You built this house. What's happening in your house? So?
Mr. Gewo, you know what is happening is this: when they play against Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, it's. I will say now, coaches are not doing anything. Let me be honest to you. Players are putting effort because they want to be bought by Pirates, Chiefs, and Sundowns, not coaches. Because if we can go back to the last game, Arrows and the Chiefs, we were all saying, but it's BC.
Tactical masterclass.
Sibiya, Ndwandwe. We are calling names. Okay, here comes today. Where are those players?
0-0 against Chipa United.
Where are those players? Players that were buzzing, they were all over Chiefs.
0-0 against
Nowhere
Chipa
to be
United.
seen. Again today, we watched TS Galaxy. We saw them, the Tejani. Doing very well, that boy. Making good runs, good skill, good pass. He nearly scored a winning
should
goal.
have scored the winning.
Yes, I mean, that he was supposed just to chip a bit. But now I'm saying,
When was the last time you spoke about him? When it's not Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns in Dangazak.
the only time I spoke about him is when I knew good to sign with TS Galaxy. That was it. Until I see him playing the way I saw him last at Chiefs. Man, this boy, he can play. But now the thing is that after this game again, we'll wait until maybe they play against Pirates, Sundowns. Then again, we're going to sit. It's, Mr. Ngewo, I'm sorry to put it in this manner. We cannot, if we want to be bought by Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns, go and train with them. Train and then backside. Don't come here and waste our time. And then we want to with the performance. The league in Amake. If you want us to see
out of 30 games, yes, only 6. They're only serious. All of them are serious on 6 games.
Oh, no. We can't know.
Ukavin had to shy Chiefs 4-1. So you remember that night?
Yes.
4-1.
Yes.
He's fired now.
No. It
4-1.
Yeah, because players, that's what I'm saying. Players, they are selling themselves to this team to say, look, there's a problem with the Pirates, you must sign me. Chiefs, problem. Sundowns, I'm giving you a problem. Hey, so that his performance is la. Because after that, what happened? Super Sport. It was like Ngati.
They are number 15 good relegation zone.
You see, so it's Mr. Ngewo,
it's tiring.
Yeah, man.
I think what breaks my heart, so just if I can add 2 more cents to this, it might sound as if maybe it's criticism. What breaks my heart is that I actually love this league. That's the only thing we have.
Yeah, no.
The Zimbabweans have their own league.
Yeah,
The English have their premiership.
Yeah.
Every country has their own league.
Yeah.
This is the legacy that we got from our people.
Yeah.
From whenever it started,
Yeah.
that was the only thing. Rothman's Cup 1998, Morocco Swallows, Jomo Cosmos, Bashar Lightning. You remember that night, that
George
game?
Koch Stadium.
Yes, at the George Koch
Yes.
Stadium. Those kind of matches, those big matches that are momentous, that are unbelievable. Even recent matches where Paris scores 9 goals in one match, Sundowns power lines 24-0
Yes.
in the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting emotional. I'm almost about to cry because this is our inheritance. We get this. It's from being in this country. We get this as amadota. Sabamnyama, we get this. Abamhlophe bancanywe rugby, abanye bancanywe anything else. They get other things. Tina, we get this. This is our thing. But if our thing is dying, and we keep on reminding the people, like, this thing is dying. I watched Richards Bay against Amazon. I watched these games. Like, I don't have anything else. I don't work. I don't have anything else to do. I watched these games. I'm like, but you guys don't realize that there's no way any sponsor would sponsor you if there was no Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. Because the way you play against each other. Because we used to watch Tembisa Classic play against Hellenic or whoever, and they would play serious against each other.
Yeah.
Santos won the league in 2001 or 2002. They play serious against each other. I'm not saying Santos was exciting, but they're serious. You can see they're serious. It's a job for them. About Idris Burton, Musa Otieno Ongao, Sebastian Parks, John McEtier. But serious. Ngamadota serious. La match is loser. La match that as players. I'm sorry, loser. Like, sorry, I would even use stronger words, but they have a wishy-washy mentality about not taking their job seriously. And if they're not careful, we're going to lose something with this league. If you are Richards Bay, you're playing Amazulu, Lalani, give us something to watch. Also have a community that watches you. Coach Owen Takama won the coach of the season. I watched maybe 3 of his games as a sheikh, because when they're at home, they're difficult to beat. I watched them against Golden Arrows. I can't remember the last time. I think they were playing Stellenbosch last weekend. Last weekend. They won 1-0. They won 1-0 against Golden Arrows as well. Yeah. There's a lot of them. The unwatchable is them. I sat there and watched because this is our inheritance. But the unwatchable, you can't watch them. Just a final word, Mr. So.
Mr. Kevo, you know, it's sad because this is one thing that we're debating about it. You know, way back, you knew go Free State Stars. You knew go Arrows players. Yes, you knew good thing about Bani that are good in that team.
Stars.
You knew about Bani. We are good Blue Celtics. You knew we are Cape Town Spurs. You knew all these teams. We knew that there's good players in those teams. So, but today,
David Motiso Bamba in Spurs.
Cape Town Spurs,
2 times in a row.
Yes,
94, 95.
playing behind the strikers, we knew Uguti. When you're going to play against those teams, Abakulu's African Wanderers.
Yes, Wanderers. Snow Team Talana.
Hey.
PMX Mkiza.
I know. So
Zuma, Zuma, Siyabonga Nomvethu.
Dynamos. Abo Leopards. You knew Uguti when you're going to play there. You almost spoke about corner la payana.
Sibusiso Dlamini.
Because immediately lapana go Dynamos na go Stars. You know what? Hey, kuzosetshenzwa.
Yeah.
But today we even struggle when we're debating about who police. Okay, give me 1 or 2 players beside a police that is doing well, that now is playing the national team. Give me 1 or 2 from other teams. We couldn't find.
Yes, we couldn't answer your question.
So now
when you were asking
it goes back to say, something's wrong in our game. So if we can't have other 3-4 players, because there were times where in the national team we could select a player from Celtic. We could select a player from
Lebogang Kukame. Skulwa.
Abraham Nteu. We can name them. You know, we are about Dylan Shepard, but
smaller teams.
This is what I'm crying for. Mr. Kevo, can all these teams give us players and football that all of us gonna talk about?
And it starts with when they play against each other.
Yes, because
we must be able to watch them when they play against each other. Not against Chiefs or Pirates or Sundowns. When they play against each other. Each other. Like Nina Nabaitu, when you play against each other. Not only against Chiefs, Pirates and Sundowns.
Definitely. It was interesting to watch. You will watch all the games. You are not going to be bored.
The whole weekend.
About Swallows, you will watch.
That was everyone's favorite team was Swallows.
General Nigiza. Abosiza Nombe. We
Yes.
knew these guys because they were playing, even a number of Wanderers against the Swallows. You're going to watch a
watch
beautiful
that game.
game.
That was everyone's second favorite team, Swallows.
Yeah, but now, Mongati Manju Zofaga.
Even the ones that played last night, so I'm making an example with.
Yes,
It was raining there, but it's nothing. There was nothing to see. Everyone is going wide, crossing the ball. Rian Hanamub, Tembeles Kakane go wide, cross the ball, and that's it. And then you are looking at it, just be like, okay, what do you have to offer? Nah, boys like, okay. Oh, you feel like that, but we can't allow it.
Yeah.
Because in the way to like, so abandon abako, abandon abugale, abandon ababo. Nah, it belongs to our children.
Yeah.
So we can never allow it. So that's why we have to talk about it.
Eish.
We can't allow it to die. We have to talk all the time, and it starts with. We can't just talk about your name when you're playing against the Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns. You have to make a match even amongst yourselves. Masiva and Mr. So thank you so much. I suppose you guys have your say as well. Everyone has a right, of course. I always say this, we have nothing. The people that do YouTube, all the YouTube channels on TV or YouTube channels that you watch talking about football, we have nothing to do with the quality of that. If we did, that means we were the owners. And if we were owners, we were millionaires. If we were millionaires, we were not going to be shooting videos. There's no time to shoot videos if you have money. We're doing this to engage in conversation, but we have no control about what happens. You have to ask your teams to do better, whether it's a small team or a big team. But anyhow, we'll come back on Tuesday and Wednesday with the CAF Champions League second leg. And then, of course, on Sunday, it will be a back-to-back semi-final with Orlando Pirates, Maroma Gallants, Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs as well. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, also sports betting. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami uLindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Tso Vilakazi, they call me Tso. Niyazi bafethu, amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiski TV.